Okay. Should we launch into the news?
Yeah, let's go into the news talking about sound sensitivity. The first story is on that topic. Lots of critters in our first story. Uh, is it cicadas? Is that how you say it?
Yes, I think that's the right
I
pronunciation
always
of it.
wonder how to pronounce it, but apparently there's going to be a cicada invasion this summer. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd seen it on the news, but like a lot of things, it kind of was like, I don't know if this has to do with us. And
Every
then,
so
of
many
course,
years. Yeah, Traven is telling us every so many years we have a cicada invasion. And I'm not sure what areas of the country that they're more common, but for some of our kids on the spectrum, it can be a big problem, right, Shannon?
well, anytime there's something that's loud, there's the potential for it to be annoying. And this is loud and insects. And if you've ever been someplace where they do have cicadas, it's that wang, wang, wang noise. But when you
Right,
put thousands of them together, it literally can be at a decibel that's harmful
right.
to the naked ear. So I hadn't really thought about this overly much, although I just in the background had heard these different stories about, oh, the cicadas, it's going to be bad this year. It's going to be bad. But I love that one news channel said we need to like acknowledge the fact that this is going to be hard for kids on the autism spectrum. We're shouting out to local 12, and I don't know which city that's in, but they put together an article about how to support kids on the autism spectrum. What an amazing thing.
I know. I
I
thought
think,
that was amazing. And one of the things they said is, first of all, making sure that you're aware, you make your kid aware of it. And they talked about social stories. And I was cleaning Wyatt's room and I found a social story we did when he was 5 years old to keep him from eloping called Sammy Learns to Listen. And he
I love
illustrated
that
it.
social story.
And it was a little monkey who was at the LA Zoo and was at the spider exhibit, got extremely scared and ran away and had to spend the night at the zoo. And all of these animals told him he better listen to his mom next time. And this was really effective with my son doing a social story. So you might want to consider, if you're in an area where there are lots of cicadas, writing a social story about those critters.
Yes. And I love Shauna says, I have 3 kids with autism. I make my own social stories. I
Oh,
absolutely love that. I think that's the best way to do social stories, like you do and like Nancy did. And it puts it in a context. One of the reasons why we like social stories, and I know that a lot of ABA professionals completely lose their minds over this and say, where's the science to show that it's effective? And I just want to say, things don't have to necessarily show a skill improvement. Like sometimes they just help with giving context. And I think that our kids need context. And one of the big things in this article is says social stories and showing them a picture of what the bug is that makes the noise. If you have some of our kids love bugs and they are not grossed out by bugs. Obviously, if you have a kiddo who is bug phobic, showing them a picture of what that noise is coming from, you may want to use some discretion there. But I love that this article is filled with helpful tips like, for some kids, it might mean a noise canceling headphone.
right.
For other kids, it might mean staying indoors during the height of the cicada noise. There's one place in the article where it talks about the decibel level of this being higher, has the potential to be higher than a jet.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
So I'm glad that we had an opportunity to share it because I think when we stick our heads in the sand and go, I'm sure it'll be okay, sometimes that's, not the most productive thing for our kids or for
Right.
us. Have you ever seen though, there's something about cicadas that they travel in packs, and there's one cicada that is sort of the orchestrator, and that there are some people, and there have been some people on the spectrum that are this way, that they can hear it in a different way, and they are able to find the one cicada that is orchestrating, and when they pull it out of the group, they all get quiet.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? And
That's
so part of me
amazing.
is like, I want to know if anybody has experienced this or seen this, because if you have somebody who's good at this, they're going to be in high demand during this period of time this summer.
We
Um,
got some great feedback from our audience. We
yeah,
had Kirsten said that Quentin, her son, I guess, is a fly whisperer, and if caught, he eats one. Uh, Michael
yeah.
Caso said, "Wish my mom and I knew about social stories when I was a kid. I was in my 30s when I finally figured out my sensory issues." And someone says, "I hate these bugs. We got it bad in Kentucky my senior year of high school."
I think that's Traven. I think that came
Oh, is
directly
that
from Traven.
Traven? Autism Live?
And
You're right.
and can I tell you that my husband, he was like, "Oh, if I find out that we're living someplace where cicadas are coming this summer, I'm moving." There are some people who just can't stand them, and then there are other people who actually love them and sort of love
I
that sort of
I
hum.
love the sound. It reminds me of summer. I like crickets and cicadas at night. Sometimes, if I have problems sleeping, I turn on cricket sounds on my iPhone.
There you go. It's everybody to each their own because it's a sensory thing, and there's no one size fits all. I used to have a cicada a keychain, and you could click his little tuchus and it would make the cicada noise. So I wish I still had that because I would give it to you, Nancy. um, oh, Traven says they're blind and so they fly directly into you. But you know what, Traven, that brings up a really important point. One of the things that the article said is that it's important when you're talking about insects that you let them know that these are flying insects, but
Right.
they cannot sting, they cannot bite. And for me, that's an important distinction because if something's
Yes.
flying at me, I don't like it. But
Right.
if it's flying at me and it can bite, I'm not hanging out,
Thank God
right?
these aren't like bees or horse flies, right?
Yeah, I'm not about the wasps. I'm not about anything. And we have a picture up on the screen. It's not. I don't know if you want to full screen it of what one particular that's a particular ugly cicada. I've seen
Red
cicadas that
eyes. They
were.
have red eyes.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Uh, so we people is that you, Traven, who's saying the whole situation nightmare? LOL. It can be the stuff that nightmares are made of, but look at Nancy. Nancy finds it comforting.
I
So
do.
there you go. Cicada invasion 2021. Okay, but let's move on. Definitely check it out. See what you need to do to help yourself. But I like the idea of this of the noise canceling headphones because I don't know about you, Nancy. Anytime I can get ahead of something and go, maybe we should have that. It'll
Right.
help with other things.
Right.
If your kids, I don't know, Michael. Michael says I'm glad I'm in Canada. I don't know that you're going to be excused from the cicada thing this summer, so I wouldn't get too cozy with that, Michael. Um, just saying. Thanks for watching Autism Live. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.